A 12-year-old girl fights a possible case of parasitic meningitis, and tonight her mother speaks out. Good evening. I'm Donna Terrell.
I'm Kevin Kelly. Health department leaders say the illness is so rare and serious, only 5 Arkansans have been diagnosed in the last 40 years. Sadly, all 5 of them died.
Fox 16's Hubert Tate has more on what the mother wants to tell every Central Arkansas parent. Hubert.
Well, Kevin, Donna, and the mom says she brought her daughter here to Arkansas Children's Hospital last Friday, and that's when she found out there would be a possibility her daughter may never come home again.
Kaylee will touch your heart the first time you meet her.
Tracy Hardig is praying for a medical miracle.
And I'm a determined mom that I'm going to take her home with me.
She says her 12-year-old daughter, Kaylee, went swimming recently, but quickly started getting sick shortly after.
So I kind of brushed it off as she was just really tired and had a, we let her go to sleep. But then she wouldn't wake up the next day and she was burning up, I knew that wasn't Kaylee.
So Arkansas Children's Hospital is where Hardig took her daughter. She says a doctor told her Kaylee has symptoms of parasitic meningitis.
And he says it's a very fast-moving disease that normally, if it moves as fast as it could, she could be gone by the weekend.
The health department says symptoms of parasitic meningitis include vomiting or stiff neck, plus these irritations.
It can present with a fever and a headache, and then maybe mental status changes. And the forms of parasitic meningitis we see in the U.S. tend to be quite severe.
If you or your child experience one or more of these types of symptoms, as you heard Hubert say, you're going to want to go to the doctor immediately.
All right, Kevin, well, you just gave the symptoms, but here are some ways to prevent parasitic meningitis. The Centers for Disease Control says avoid warm, fresh water like lakes and rivers during high periods of high water temperature and low water levels. Also, hold the nose or use nose clips when you go out there swimming. Plus, avoid digging in or stirring up the sediment that is in shallow areas.
The Centers for Disease Control confirms a brain-eating illness has been found in the natural state.
2 nights ago, Fox 16 News first reported a young girl with a possible case of parasitic meningitis. Tonight, the girl's diagnosis is official.
And we know we can't prevent everything, but maybe it'll help.
The mother of a 12-year-old girl affected by a rare form of meningitis speaks tonight after a Central Arkansas water park is closed because the brain-eating illness is found in the water. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. More on the investigation into the park in just a moment. But first, the girl's mother felt comfortable to only speak to Fox 16's Hubert Tate. Hubert joins us now. What did she tell you, Hubert?
Well, Kevin, Donna, we spoke with the mom here at the hospital just hours after the closing of their park. She says she does not want to point the blame at anyone or anything, but she wants the focus to be on prevention and awareness.
How's it going?
Going good.
Tracy Hardig has strong faith while coping with her daughter's illness.
Every day is a blessing.
Her 12-year-old Kaylee is being treated for parasitic meningitis. Doctors say the illness has already killed 5 Arkansans. Only 2 Americans have survived.
This is Kaylee's crew. Number 3 stands for the 3rd person that would survive this amoeba disease.
Hardig says Kaylee is still in intensive care, making slow improvements.
And we're just gonna take baby steps, but other than that, Kaylee they say is doing remarkable. She's a little miracle.
A Facebook page has been created for Kaylee's recovery, exploding with well wishes.
So I believe that maybe that's what God had here. There's a plan that why Kaylee's having to go through this is so somebody else's child won't have to.
Her daughter's experience is why Tracy wants to encourage Central Arkansans to use nose clips while swimming in lakes or rivers.
You're a mom, you're a dad, you can still take your child swimming. We're not wanting to scare people. We just want you to know there's little things you can do to help them out so they can still go and still be a kid.
Tracy puts great faith in her daughter's doctors.
They said she is just a little miracle already, and I said, well, I know that I'm being greedy, but I'm asking for the full miracle.
A full miracle, that is what we want. An awareness group out of Texas called Kyle Cares has already called the family to send their support. Also, Tracy says her daughter loves Italian food, and as soon as she recovers from the hospital, they're going to Olive Garden. Reporting live here in Little Rock, Hubert Tate, Fox 16 News.
And because of this parasitic meningitis case, an 85-year-old Pulaski County water park is closed tonight.
It's hard for us to even think about the possibility of a child getting sick out here.
And that's why David and Luann Radliff have shut down Willow Springs.
Family members of the Arkansas girl recovering from a rare disease say her condition keeps getting better. Some great news here. A Facebook page dedicated to Kaylee Hardig saying late this afternoon that she's heading in the right direction more than a week after contracting parasitic meningitis. The Facebook update indicates doctors at Arkansas Children's Hospital are allowing her to breathe on her own.
A 12-year-old Benton girl with parasitic meningitis is in critical condition tonight at Arkansas Children's Hospital. Only 2 Americans have been known to survive the very rare illness that affects the brain. But as Fox 16's Melissa Schroeder explains, Kaylee Hardig's friends believe she'll be number 3.
Suzanne, Kaylee's got some great friends, that's for sure. They're spending the whole weekend raising money to help out her family struggling with mounting medical bills. These kids call themselves Kaylee's Crew because they've got her back. They're selling bracelets with that name in hot pink, Kaylee's favorite color. The number 3 is also on the bracelet because Kaylee's friends say she'll be the 3rd person to beat parasitic meningitis. The group also sold lemonade and treats and raised, get this, more than $3,000 just today.
We try to have fun while we're doing it and try to make people think of her and pray for her.
Donna, Miraculous is a pretty fitting way to describe Kaylee Hardig and her most recent movements. She's been here at the hospital fighting a rare parasitic meningitis for about 18 days now. According to the health department and the CDC, people who've been diagnosed with this parasitic meningitis have died within 4 to 5 days. But right now, Kaylee is showing subtle signs that she's not giving up.
We asked her to squeeze our hand. She can squeeze our hand.
Describing her daughter's little movements,
She can wiggle her toes.
is a big deal for Tracy Hardig.
We don't want her to get scared now that she's awake. So we just keep reassuring her that everything she's doing is wonderful and it's normal and it's okay, and just keeping her calm.
She can tell Kaylee is listening. Doctors have been treating the 12-year-old battling a rare brain-eating parasite she contracted swimming for 18 days. According to the CDC, most people infected are dead within 12 days. As Kaylee keeps going, attention to her story and support
I want to give her a big hug and tell her I love her.
continue growing. Her mother uses Facebook to send updates of doctors monitoring Kaylee's body temperature, putting her on dialysis. Just last week, Kaylee opened her eyes. Most recently,
She's even been able to give one of her doctors this morning the thumbs up sign.
it's an encouraging sign her daughter could continue beating the odds, but Tracy says she knows Kaylee is still not out of the weeds.
I did have a doctor for the first time telling me that we're almost ready to exhale.
Tracy says as they continue holding their breath, Kaylee's progress is giving them strength to hold on for a miracle.
I know that God's going to work a miracle, and I'm going to get to take Kaylee home.
All right, Jeff, thank you. For the first time in 14 days, a Central Arkansas girl with a rare form of meningitis is breathing on her own. Kaylee Hardig is being treated for parasitic meningitis at Children's Hospital tonight. Fox 16's Hubert Tate, he's live at Children's, where he spoke with her mom this evening. Hubert, what did she have to say? One of the doctors treating a parasitic meningitis victim talks to Fox 16. Kaylee Hardig has been at the Arkansas Children's Hospital since July 19th after getting the brain-eating illness while swimming. Fox 16's Hubert Tate is live at Children's Hospital with more on what doctors are doing to keep Kaylee alive. Hubert?
Well, Donna, doctors say Kaylee Hardig could be released from the ICU by the end of this week, which would be another medical miracle.
It's going to take a while for Kaylee to get back to where she was, but she's young and she's healthy, and she'll get there.
Dr. Mark Hewlett is one of Kaylee Hardig's doctors. He says he and his team have used a variety of treatment methods, including a drug brought over from Europe called miltefosine.
The drug was administered both around the brain and into her system, and she's had an excellent response to all our treatment. But again, we've used this drug before without such good success, so it definitely contributed to but we don't know how much.
That drug has been used to treat cancer, and in Europe, it has also been used to treat infections with parasites. So doctors decided to use it in this case. But Hewlett cannot point to the main reason why Kaylee is responding so well, especially fighting an illness that has seen only 2 survivors.
It's very hard to say with this single case what this is going to mean. It could relate to the fact that the amount of infection she had wasn't as great as some of the other patients. It could be the fact that she has certain aspects of her body that's able to fight the infection better than other people.
The mother of a young girl battling a brain-eating disease posted on Facebook that Kaylee Hardig wrote her name for the first time this morning, and here's the proof. Kaylee's mother posted this picture to the Prayers for Kaylee Leanne Facebook page. The 12-year-old was diagnosed with the often fatal parasitic meningitis in July.
One of the experimental drugs used on Kaylee Hardig to fight the brain-eating amoeba that was affecting her is now directly available to U.S. doctors. The Centers for Disease Control announcing yesterday it will free up access to miltefosine. While the drug is not directly linked to Kaylee's recovery, the CDC says miltefosine does show promise in combating other strands of amoeba.
So glad to hear that. And just so you know, today was a great day for Kaylee Hardig. The Benton girl has been fighting parasitic meningitis since July 19th at Arkansas Children's Hospital. But today her mom sent us this video of Kaylee using an iPad. Look at her. Right now, she's still on a feeding tube, but Fox 16's Hubert Tate made a bet with her. Once she gets better, he'll do cartwheels to celebrate.
Gotta like that. And after seeing our story last night, one Benton woman is hoping to organize a huge Cartwheels for Kaylee event.
If everyone's in one group doing cartwheels for Kaylee, that's motivating itself. We can get everybody out and everybody doing the same thing and everyone showing her, look, we all have bad things that happen to us, so let's just, the whole thing's just motivating.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Speaking of motivation, there was a sneak peek right there. So when we got wind of this, we wanted to get the ball rolling right here in the newsroom.
Right away. So we're starting posting people in the newsroom doing cartwheels on our social media site, and it has really picked up steam. Look at that guy right there. Look at him go.
That's our producer, Philip. He did a good job. Not sure who that is, but, you know, we're all doing Cartwheels for Kaylee, and that's what's on Twitter. Hashtag Cartwheels for Kaylee. I mean, it has taken on a life of its own.
Yes,
it's unbelievable.
I know. It is wonderful to see all of the folks doing cartwheels for Kaylee. And you know, Kaylee is going to get out of the hospital and she's going to do a few cartwheels herself, I'm sure.
You got to like that. I gave an attempt at it, but I'm glad we ran out of time, so we just can't show it.
Yeah,
oh, darn.
Trust me, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, check this out. This is, as we're about to see.
No, we had to show it.
Well, Donna, as you know, I told Kaylee once her feeding tube came off, I would do cartwheels to celebrate her recovery. Well, today the feeding tube came off and I had to do cartwheels. Yeah. Kaylee sent me a video message to remind me that I had to do it.
Hey, Hubert. I'm ready for you to do some more cartwheels.
Those words from Kaylee Hardig as she celebrates a big day in her recovery. Wednesday, she had steak and potatoes after doctors removed her feeding tube. The milestone comes on the same day people gathered at Salem Elementary to do cartwheels for Kaylee.
I feel blessed. I feel just overwhelmed. She's doing wonderful.
For the first time tonight, Kaylee Hardig outside of her hospital bed and goes to have one of her favorite meals for dinner. Our camera, the only one offered a seat at the table to participate in this major milestone. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. 12-year-old Kaylee Hardig has been fighting parasitic meningitis since July. Most patients die from this illness within 3 days, but doctors say Kaylee is a survivor.
Fox 16's Hubert Tate, the only reporter at the table with a smiling Kaylee tonight. Hubert, what an incredible moment.
Incredible, Kevin and Donna. Doctors gave Kaylee a pass to leave the hospital tonight to go to a fundraiser held at Texas Roadhouse where 10% of sales went to Kaylee and her family. Now, her speech still needs some development, but she was able to tell the waitress she wanted steak and potatoes.
I feel blessed. I feel just overwhelmed. she's doing wonderful.
Small steps to hopefully making a full recovery.
I believe that the miracle of God is why we got her here today.
Kaylee Hardig walked into Texas Roadhouse in North Little Rock to have a meal with family and friends.
Makes me feel loved.
Hardig has been fighting parasitic meningitis since July 19th after swimming at a Central Arkansas lake. This is her first time out of the hospital and her first time speaking on camera. I am so excited to see you.
Excited to see you too.
Kaylee says she's been anticipating this moment for a while.
Because I've been in the hospital a long time. A long time.
And the hospital's no fun. But before getting a pass to leave the hospital for a few hours, her mom says she had to get permission from doctors.
And as soon as Dr. Tompkins come in the room, she asked her, she goes, "Can I have a pass to go to Texas Roadhouse?" And she said, "Sure." And Kaylee was just so excited.
Kaylee says she is looking forward to going back to school, but knows that will take some time. What are you excited about doing next?
Walking by myself.
And to make that happen, Kaylee has support from abroad and in Central Arkansas.
It's amazing. It makes me feel great.
Many people, including myself, did cartwheels to celebrate Kaylee's recovery. Did you see my cartwheel?
Yeah. And he looked like a frog.
I look like a frog?
And your legs were bent. Your knees were bent. You try to straighten them out.
You gotta straighten them out. Okay. You know, you're the only person who can tell me I can look like a frog doing a cartwheel.
Sorry.
Kaylee is now looking forward to continued success. Balloons have flooded her room with well wishes, which she says many thanks to her supporters.
Thank you.
Why do you want to tell them thank you?
For all y'all have done for me. And y'all praying for me.
And that deserves a high five. Her mom says next week will bring another exciting time because she could find out when she gets to go home. Donna.
She's very honest, because I'm going to tell you, many of us wanted to tell you look like a frog, but she just came right out and said it. I'm just saying.
Come on, Donna.
We're proud of you. We are proud of you. We are so proud of you and all that you've done to help Kaylee, and it's wonderful to be able to see her out and about and talking and walking and all of that. Having said that, we said earlier that most people die from parasitic meningitis. So how long are doctors saying once she gets out of the hospital it's going to take for her to fully recover?
Well, it's still going to take a couple of months for her to get back into a routine and just being Kaylee Hardig. So it's still going to take a few more months to get to that point. But as you saw there in my story, she called me a frog and she's on her way to recovery. Hopefully she won't look like a frog.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. She's an honest girl. All right. Thanks a lot.
I don't want to know what she thinks of my cartwheel. Kaylee Hardig has certainly beat the odds. According to the CDC, there have been 5 cases of parasitic meningitis in the U.S. between 1962 and 2012. Now, of those, only 2 survived. Kaylee is the 3rd. Joining us now live to talk more about this rare brain-eating parasite is one of Kaylee's doctors, Dr. Esther Tompkins from Arkansas Children's Hospital. We appreciate you joining us very much. Your area of expertise is pediatric rehab. You were the one that gave Kaylee the free pass to go out and have those steak and potatoes tonight. What was the turning point that allowed you to give her the green light?
Well, she needed to be able to get around pretty much by herself with just a little bit of help from her mother, and also be able to tolerate to be able to go out for a couple of hours, because it's very tiring for Kaylee to do those things. So we had to make sure that she had enough energy and the ability to enjoy the evening and not just wear her completely out.
Looking forward, what are the biggest challenges she faces besides energy levels?
She also has what we call ataxia, so she has some problems with her balance. So walking is difficult for her because of the balance issues. She also has some memory problems and just some slowness in her thinking and speech too. So she's very active in speech therapy for that.